Plus, church services may soon resume in person. How parishioners will have to adapt. Plus, we're talking with the Rock Church about its service and a new show airing right here on Fox 5. A live report just ahead. Well, we have a new show that's airing here on Fox 5. It's called Rock Your City with Pastor Miles McPherson of the Rock Church. It's an inspirational hour of personal stories shot right here in San Diego, and he joins us now live to talk more about it. Hi, Miles.
What's up, my friend?
I don't know if you could hear that story before you. Could you hear it?
I could.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because this is so important. So many people feel very, very passionate about this. Other people very fearful about it. So the president took to Twitter. He said, hey, churches are essential. You've kind of said that yourself. So what's your feeling? What's your take?
Well, I think you have to ask yourself, when you're in trouble, you could either go to a liquor store, which is essential, or you can go to church and get spiritual help and prayer. You can't get that anywhere else. What you can get in the church, you can't get anywhere else. So obviously church is essential. Obviously it has eternal impact, spiritual impact. And so, you know, it should have never been deemed unessential from the beginning. However, you know, we have to think about people. The president making this statement he made has made all this a moot point anyway. Now we can open. So I think people should move forward cautiously.
And what's going to happen at your church? Church?
We won't be open. We won't be open tomorrow. I mean, it just happened yesterday. We were in a process of reevaluating how we would do church when we came back anyway, because we've learned a lot about church during this time and what we should focus on and what we shouldn't. And also, we don't know what the guidelines are going to be. If they're going to make people sit 6 feet away in every direction, our 3,500 seats sanctuary can hold 400. So we have to find out what the guidelines are going to be, because it's going to be very different. I know a lot of my friends back east have started church weeks ago, and 95% of the people didn't show up. Yeah. So it's one thing to open your building. It's another thing to have people who want to come.
Sure. You know, I've had this, I don't want to say argument, friendly debate with a lot of people, or people come up on the streets because we're reporters and they want to voice their opinions. But a lot of people have said, you know, and I agree with this part of it, that maybe it's time for us to take responsibility for our health. We know what we need to do now, and perhaps there is a way to do it in a safe way, like you just said.
Well, I said from the beginning they should have quarantined the people who are at high risk. Most people, 90% give or take, will get it and not know it, or have very mild symptoms and get through it. So, they should have done that in the beginning. I think in Switzerland did very little restrictions on their society. They didn't close their businesses, and they fine relatively what we did. So as far as deaths, but I think we need to go back to our life. There are a lot of things that are killing people. We need to be careful and go about our life, because there are going to be more people who die from starvation around the world. There are people who get molested and abused at home, divorces. There's a lot of fallout. People are losing their livelihood. So you're saving some, but then you're ruining a whole lot more other people.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And speaking of saving some, this show that airs right here on Fox 5, 9 o'clock, it tells these personal stories, some gut-wrenching stories, frankly. What can we expect for tomorrow?
You're going to hear from an ICU nurse supervisor right here in San Diego, Leilani. She works in the ICU. She works with COVID patients. She's going to tell her story about what she does and what she goes through, and why the first responders are our heroes. They are doing stuff that none of us have ever done. We have some NFL players that are going to, along with myself, pray for them in ICU through Zoom. We had a nice meeting with them. It was great. And, you know, we've delivered about 6,700 meals to hospitals in San Diego since this started, along with police department and 911 call center, but specifically the first responders in the hospital. So it's going to be a great story about the sacrifice they make and what they're doing for us.
So great. They're frontline people, whether it's, you know, the grocery store, the pharmacy, the police, obviously, fire,
yes,
nurses, doctors. They're doing so much for our community. I know I asked you this last week, but I've talked to so many people who are like, you know, I wish I could do something. I don't know what to do. I'm cooped up in my house. What can people do to help out, or to, you know, help you?
Yeah,
help out?
They can contact the church through our website, or text HOPE to 52525 and sign up to participate with us as we serve the community. I think, again, as we were talking about last week, we need to look outward. We can get so depressed and discouraged thinking about what we don't have. But if we can look at what other people don't have and how we can help them with what we do have, our perspective will change, because, you know, there's always something we don't have, but there's always somebody and a lot of other people who have a lot less than us. So they can just contact the church or text HOPE to 52525 and sign up to volunteer.
All right, Pastor Miles, so great to talk with you. I love I get to do this every Sunday. You inspire me as well.
Every Saturday. I'll see you next Saturday.
Okay, thank you. And for more details on the Rock Church, just go to fox5sandiego.com. Click on the Scene On tab. Again, the show airs right here on Fox 5, 9 o'clock in the morning.